but we are seeing some quantities of gold.
It shows gold.
Yeah.
Gold and silver has finally been found on Oak Island. The Lagena crew's hard work finally paid off. But it leaves a question: are these a part of the mystic treasure? Or the Oak Island, known for its hidden treasure, turned out to be a gold mine that is about to change the Lagena crew's lives forever? Let's dive in and find out.
It is, in fact, silver, but it does have a little bit of a lead content. Like, I only left these elements because they image really well. So this right here is a William III shilling. Silver, same diameter, and it matches the designs to a T.
Wow.
It was only when the crew paired up with Dumas Contracting Limited that they began to rebuild the 18th century old garden shaft, which is believed to be the original depositor of the long-lost treasure. They had several reasons to believe the treasure would be at the bottom of this shaft. The first reason was because they had discovered a collapsed secret tunnel just below the shaft, and two, because this mysterious tunnel was running toward the west in the direction of the baby blob. The baby blob is the area that tested very highly for traces of gold, silver, and other metals. The next step for the two combined teams was to begin their horizontal probe drilling, which they hoped would reveal to them the location of the treasure. Unfortunately, they instead caused a leak of ocean water that forced them out of the tunnel. They realized they had fallen into an ancient trap that litters this island, destroying all the work they had done to this point. They speculate that they hit the flood tunnel system, but at the same time, this disaster has validated many of the stories and legends surrounding the island. All the science and booby traps come together to confirm that the legends about this island are real.
The big goal is to get good, solid pieces of the shaft so we can do dendrochronology on it. That'll give us an excellent date.
They have concluded that the volume and speed at which they flooded the garden shaft can only truly be explained by deliberate actions done to stop treasure hunters. As they arrive, Jack explains that things have changed all around the island. Lot 5 is their first stop, and they describe all the different discoveries and clues they have been able to unearth in this area. They have found ancient structures nobody knew about in Lot 5, as well as artifacts that are dated from as far back as the 1200s to the 1700s. There have even been ancient coins and tokens found in this lot. One thing about these finds is that they only become more intriguing with time, so they have Laird and his team working in the area even now. Since they have so much evidence of treasure in the money pit, the crew has been searching the rest of the island for more clues as to who had created this mystery on the island. The western portion of the island could hold the answers. Lot 5, a 4-acre portion of land, was first purchased a few years ago by Rick, Marty, and Craig from the estate of Robert Young. Since this purchase, they have continued to make new discoveries in that area, all of which has given them new suspects as to the person who left all the traps, secrets, and treasure on the island. One of the suspects left behind 4 Roman coins, which go back 2,000 years.
It is?
Yeah, this is a clearly Roman design.
So, is a Roman coin?
Absolutely, yeah.
2 for 2.
They found an old barter token that they have connected to the lead cross found in Smith's Cove back in 2017 and is associated with the Knights Templar. They have also found iron tools linked to Sir William Phipps, who was an English politician in the 17th century. This link led everyone to speculate that a whole chest of Spanish silver could be buried in the money pit. These finds were made near stone foundations, one which is rectangular and the other rounded one near the shoreline. The archaeologists are busy digging and uncovering an incredible stone structure that is much larger than anyone imagined. This has become a designated special place for the crew after all the astonishing finds they have made. This special designation will help protect these sites and allow them to dig in an archaeological fashion that will protect the context in which these items were left behind. Already, they have been able to determine how the shape of the structure they are studying varies in size, curvature, and quality of construction due to their great care. They have determined how the newer section has very intentional design and speaks to the theory that this is a project spanning multiple generations. They speculate that perhaps the people behind this could have been living in this area while building the money pit. Gary and Peter arrive at Lot 4 and are about to go over all of the spoils they discovered around the big feature. Their job will need the use of metal detectors, as they are going to be searching more than 10 tons of spoils that were collected along the shoreline of Lot 5. They have found items that vary in age all along the stone-lined foundation, amongst them a 14th century barter token and 17th century tools. They have also found materials that match substances discovered 100 feet deep in the money pit, as well as matching things found below Cone E, which have been linked to an 800-year-old cross. Gary and Peter are determined to find something that can tell them when the feature was created and why. After some searching, Gary finds a cut coin. This means that it could be a Spanish coin, likely made of silver.
We found a cut coin.
Okay.
And if this is a cut coin, mate, if this is a cut coin, mate, it could well be a Spanish coin.
Gary notes that the cut is very clean and deliberate, as that is how they used to make change with their coins. This could potentially be a Spanish treasure coin. During the 18th century, European nations like Spain, England, and France were colonizing the world and establishing trade routes and outposts throughout the Americas. During this time, it was common for the military and for outlaws like pirates to cut coins to pay their crews. Gary and Peter know that the Lagena brothers, Rick and Marty, will be delighted with their find. They head over to the lab, proud of their work. At the Oak Island lab are the Lagena brothers, along with Jack, Laird, and Emma, who will assist them in learning more about their find. Laird immediately confirms it's a cut coin, Jack notes it has been quartered, and Emma says she will run it through the CT scanner to get an image. To find small details and features on the coin, they will use a SkyScan CT scanner to X-ray and magnify the image into a three-dimensional model. Emma notes that this quick scan only shows surface-level scratches, but that a longer scan will give them more detail. They decide that while they wait for this highly detailed scan, they can search the area for more scans. Rick and the rest of the team get together for a meeting where Marty and Craig join them via a video conference app. The report on the silver coin is in, and everyone wants to hear the news. Emma explains that the detailed scan she did revealed faint engravings on one side of the coin, and the XRF map scanner showed that the silver coin contained some lead. The XRF scanner uses beams of X-rays, which give different colors to different elements that are present on the surface of various objects.
So it's an English shilling from the 1690s.
Oh yeah, you can see the ponytail.
Yeah. And the little two triangles, it's its little ribbon.
Wow, that's a shocker.
The engraving of GVLI and the design on the left and right side matches some marks on a William III shilling and has the same silver composition and diameter. This 1690 English shilling is not a Spanish silver coin, but still interesting, as it proves that the area they were searching in could have been inhabited around the 1600s. They are disappointed this is not a clue toward their Spanish treasure theory, but they now have reason to believe that someone was working or hiding something in Lot 5, perhaps even a soldier being paid for some service. The Oak Island historian, Doug Crowell, is reminded of a book about the British military that attempted to recover William Phipps's treasure on the island all those years ago. In this book, Doug references titled Oak Island and Its Treasures. The authors dictated an amazing tale of a covert operation that took place on Oak Island after Sir William Phipps allegedly buried a vault of treasure in the Money Pit area. According to the book, English allies of Sir William made a number of failed attempts to retrieve the treasure on Oak Island in the late 1600s. This shilling could be proof that the English military were once on Oak Island. If Doug Crowell is right, this piece could be connected to failed treasure recovery operations. They never found the treasure, and adding in the gold and silver particles present in the water tests conducted on the island, the clues all point to the treasure still being on the island. This find and their searches in Lot 5 have just become more vital and significant than ever before. This incredible discovery has changed the game for the Oak Island crew. The sense that they are closer to answers than ever before becomes truer every day. Do you think they will discover the treasure after collecting these pieces of evidence? Let us know in the comments down below. Please do not forget to subscribe and turn notifications on so you never miss an update.
Might there be a chance here to discover the treasure once and for all? Sure.
There's all of these clues that strongly suggest this area holds significant interest.
Rick Lagina has finally found a breakthrough on mysteries of the infamous Oak Island. They just found something so bizarre that proves that gold is here on this island. Did they find a hidden chest that has a map to the actual treasure? Well, in this video, we are going to find that out. Craig Tester and Steve Guptill, along with Alex Lagina and the rest of the crew, are gathered to begin the latest large-scale excavation with the hope that they will uncover the second shaft, over 100 feet deep, and built in the early days of the 18th century, believed to be only a few feet southeast of the original money pit. To do this, they will be digging up the first ever searcher shaft on Oak Island. Their current goal is to obtain some pieces of the shaft and conduct dendrochronology on it, which will be able to tell them the year this wood was formed on a tree. According to Craig, if anything will be able to tie them back to the original money pit, it would be shaft 2. The tree rings they spot on the wood will tell them when it was cut down. If they can uncover and confirm the date to around 1805, they will not only be able to locate the original money pit, but also find the source of the precious metals they have detected in the area. They excavate a big piece of wood they believe could have belonged to one of the long walls. But the question remains, does this belong to shaft 2? According to Rick Lagina, the second shaft is like the Holy Grail in terms of significance. They are closer than ever to finding the money pit. The wood they pull out is rounded and thick, which Craig believes is the outside of the tree, and could be excellent for their testing. They take multiple samples of this wood when Marty Lagina arrives on site, and they decide to use a mirror to take a closer look at what's down there, by reflecting light into the dark corners. Marty describes how incredible it is what people in the past were able to accomplish with their limited technology, but also how they need to think to find the money pit. Gary uses his metal detector and finds a signal in one of the scoops of dirt, pulling out a rosehead spike which remains in great condition, possibly from the 1700s. Between the 1780s and mid-1800s, rosehead spikes were created for construction. This could be another clue. They note a lot of boards in the dark pit, and they decide to try and take some of those beams off the walls. Rick notes the mix of older wood and how the second shaft was built in the early 1800s, likely a great match to that old wood. If they find a match between that wood and this time frame, they will have the first discovery shaft on Oak Island, an amazing accomplishment. The operator of the excavator is flying blind but being instructed by Scott as they carefully maneuver the excavator's bucket down this shaft and scrape it along the walls for wood samples. However, they face a setback when their first sample falls out of the bucket and splashes into the water below. This is a great challenge, but Billy the operator triumphs as he pulls out a massive beam of wood. Gary then goes to check if there is any metal in the wood by passing a detector over it. When there is no signal of metal, he determines this is a good sign as it suggests a very antiquated style of construction.
First ever searcher shaft on Oak Island. True? True?
Well, we think.
That we know of.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now they ask themselves if someone could have reconstructed the top part of shaft 2 after it was originally built in 1805. They may have found the evidence to find the original money pit. This area is a landmark for them. This operation has been an incredible success. Back at the Oak Island Research Center, Marty has met with a few people who will be involved in the well drilling, and to get on the same page as they move forward. Marty Lagina explains that he has been focused on the metals detected in the water. A few weeks back, some scientists had broken down the results of the testing they had conducted on the island and zeroed in on a yellow district which had persistently high levels of copper, lead, zinc, and tin. Their testing has them looking at a 2,500 square foot region known as the Pie. Dr. Michelle believes that what they are looking for is in the golden egg section they have. So Marty is determined that this is where they will be drilling all the wells to better evaluate the area. The next morning, the crew gathers to begin their testing and digging. While drilling in the golden egg, they have come across evidence that suggests a possible structure in the area at a depth of almost 100 feet. Mike from Choice Solid Drilling explains that the sample he pulled out is soft at the top, and we learn that there is no wood in the sample, but this is a good sign as it points to them getting close to something. Marty believes that if there is something there, they will find it in that hole. Peter suggests taking some tests of the water for metal testing, and they decide to ask Dr. Spooner to take a sample. Later that afternoon, Marty returns after he is told they have made progress in the EN13 borehole made in the golden egg. Just the other day, the crew believed they had almost hit a man-made structure as they drilled nearly 100 feet underground. The new sample under a yellow cone was measured against EN13, and what they found was something coming out of the well, like loud booms that went on for half a minute. The belief is that they may be drilling near something and air getting into it. The implication being something is open down there or collapsing. Dr. Spooner believes there must be a void. All of these clues point towards something happening in this area. Dr. Spooner holds up a sample of the water, which looks yellow in the sunlight. This darker water indicates they are close to a source of wood. This development has piqued the interest of Rick Lagena, especially if it means that an underground collapse is pointing to an open chamber. They believe that water has moved from a tunnel or shaft, and all of this information is vital to know where the traces of metal are coming from. They hope that their next drilling spot will reveal even more information. The next day, they discover another Roman coin which the team has connected to descendants of Vikings, which could be important for their discussions. The historian on Oak Island explains that the Norse had reached Iceland and Greenland before 1021 AD, and after that just a short ride away in Newfoundland, which is 600 miles northeast of Oak Island. For this reason, they are headed to that Viking settlement that was established more than a millennia ago and has been labeled by the Canadian government as a National Historic Site. Today, it is the only recognized Viking settlement in North America. According to Rick, the descendants of these Vikings are an important detail needed to understand how an old world treasure could have made its way to Oak Island.
Artifacts in the Viking Age.
Oh?
And fortunately, I have a replica here.
He believes that this history is vital for the ability of the person or people who came across the North Atlantic and do this work on Oak Island. Before their trip, they discuss bringing some of their findings like the old arrowhead along with them, as they believe they may have some connection to these Vikings and their descendants. The historian then mentions that the Viking settlement was only discovered in the 1960s, and this makes Marty laugh, as it means that there could be many more not yet discovered. The historian agrees and even believes this could mean the Vikings and Templars making their way further past Newfoundland and into Oak Island is very possible. They even have relics that point to that conclusion. Marty believes that if anything happened on Oak Island as far back as the 1200s, then it almost certainly has to be some kind of activity done by the Vikings and their descendants. Based on what they know currently, it almost has to lead to them, as very few people in that period knew about this island. It is very possible that they could have brought along the Knights Templar or any number of other people to the island with the intention of depositing something. This leads to the Laginas wanting to launch an expedition. After finding another coin on Lot 5, Alex is very excited about the crew going to L'Anse aux Meadows, or the Viking settlement on Newfoundland, and looking around while Alex remains back at the island. New insight and perspective is always important on their quest to uncover the secrets and treasures of Oak Island. Thank you so much for watching and liking this video. Don't forget to share this with your friends and family. Let us know in the comments what you think about Oak Island's many mysteries and treasures. Do you think they are getting closer to uncovering the truth of the island? If you love this content and never want to miss an update, make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on.
Scientists have just announced a startling new discovery that solves the Oak Island enigma. What lies beneath the island's surface is so enigmatic that you will not believe it. What numerous other treasure hunters have been unable to accomplish, a team of researchers equipped with the most advanced technology has finally accomplished. They have found the answer to the Oak Island enigma, and the response is, simply stated, nobody saw that coming as scientists just announced the solution to the Oak Island mystery. Using ground-penetrating radar, the team was able to successfully create a detailed map of the island's subterranean terrain. They discovered a labyrinthine system of tunnels and chambers, the likes of which had never been seen before, and which was substantially larger than anyone had anticipated. After analyzing the data, they made the most surprising discovery. The scientists determined that the tunnels and chambers did not form by accident. Instead, they arranged themselves in a precise geometric pattern that was a perfect match for the ancient symbols discovered in the writings of the Templar Order. Oak Island's mystery has been associated with the medieval Christian military order known as the Knights Templar for a very long time. Some individuals are under the impression that they concealed their legendary wealth on the island, and it appears that the researchers have finally solved this mystery's code. Nonetheless, the story does not end there. An additional significant discovery was made by the researchers, something with the potential to utterly transform our understanding of Oak Island and its history. Within one of the compartments, they discovered artifacts buried to a considerable depth. Not gold or gems, but ancient writings that have been meticulously preserved in airtight containers. The texts are composed in a language that has not yet been identified as the original language, a language with the potential to cast light on the mystery surrounding the Oak Island tunnels and their purpose. Currently, the researchers are working diligently to decipher the inscriptions. They are confident in their ability to uncover Oak Island's true story, a story that has been kept under wraps for centuries. Since the 18th century, treasure hunters have been concentrating their efforts on a small, forested island off the coast of Nova Scotia in Canada. The island is renowned throughout the world for its money pit, which is an enigmatic hole in the ground that is rumored to conceal incalculable wealth. Gold from pirate ships, jewels believed to have been lost by Marie Antoinette, and even the Holy Grail have all been mentioned as potential treasures that could be concealed within its depths. Over the past 2.5 centuries, explorers from all corners of the globe have endeavored to decipher the code. They have dug, drilled, and even used explosives to gain access to the island's interior in an attempt to uncover its buried mysteries. However, despite all of their efforts, the island has managed to keep its wealth a closely guarded secret up until this point. The coin of the Templars that was discovered on Oak Island is another intriguing artifact. This development has surprised numerous specialists. Is it feasible that this information will shed light on the mysteries surrounding the illustrious Templars and the riches they concealed? If there is a treasure to be discovered on the island, it could be worth a substantial amount of money. However, locating it would also provide us with a great deal of information about the Templars' genuine influence. The possibility of unearthing something of such crucial importance has piqued the interest of numerous treasure hunters and historians located in various parts of the globe. However, even the most knowledgeable individuals are still baffled by the mystery of Oak Island. What other peculiar clues and hidden treasures could be lurking somewhere in this area? Each new discovery we make on the island provides us with additional hints that have the potential to alter how we interpret the past. Could it be possible to unearth the long-buried secrets of the Templars and learn what they interred on Oak Island? As more information about Oak Island's history becomes available, the mystery surrounding the island continues to grow, leaving us inquisitive about the unsolved mysteries that may be concealed beneath its surface. The recent discovery of a medieval crossbow bolt on Oak Island has spurred speculation that the Knights Templar may be involved. This enigmatic society was active during the time of the Crusades. It was renowned for its mysterious customs and the rumors about its riches that circulated. The discovery of the crossbow bolt adds another layer of enigma to Oak Island's lengthy and illustrious past, which was already fraught with enigma to begin with. In the past, it is conceivable that the Knights Templar traveled to or even resided on the island. The discovery that the bolt dates to the 13th century enhances the historical significance of the object and situates it within the larger context of the island's history. This discovery adds to the growing body of evidence, suggesting that Oak Island was the site of a significant event in the island's past. The discovery of Nolan's Cross on Oak Island has also sparked widespread speculation regarding the possible role of the Knights Templar in the annals of the island. However, additional research is necessary to fully comprehend the effects of these discoveries. This occurrence serves as a cautionary reminder to approach stories of unexpected discoveries with a skeptical mindset. There are many variables that can affect the veracity and dependability of such stories, but it is possible to stumble upon something genuinely exceptional. It may be challenging to determine the veracity of these reports because they could be the result of anything from pranks and misunderstandings to blatant fabrications. As more of the money pit was excavated, a complex network of tunnels and passages, as well as numerous artifacts and intriguing objects, were uncovered. Since then, a large number of daring explorers have traveled to the location in the hopes of unearthing the legendary treasures that are said to be buried there, thereby putting an end to the mystery encircling the location. Despite the numerous expeditions and excavations that have been conducted, the money pit remains a tantalizing enigma that entices the daring and the curious to uncover its secrets. This ancient tale recounts a story of daring deeds, treacherous plots, and the pursuit of wealth beyond one's wildest ambitions. Recently, the Lagina brothers and their crew discovered an incredible discovery while metal detecting on Money Pit Island. The discovery of a keyhole in the shape of an intricate floral design raises the prospect that it belonged to one of Captain James Anderson's 3 missing treasure chests. The discovery of this keyhole has added a new element of mystery to the Oak Island legend, and it has piqued our interest in the location of the island's fabled buried treasure. With each new discovery, the mystery surrounding Oak Island deepens, heightening our sense of wonder and awe in relation to this intriguing historical site. In the late 1800s, while conducting investigations, the Oak Island Treasure Company discovered what appeared to be cement 153 feet beneath the surface. Nonetheless, what they subsequently discovered was far more startling than they had anticipated. They dug deeply and uncovered a fragment of parchment that has the potential to alter our view of the history of literature. There is a theory that this parchment contains some lost writings by the famous playwright William Shakespeare, who may have deposited it there. It is possible that it was left there, which lends credence to this theory. During the 16th century, Francis Bacon was active in science, literature, and exploration. Some people believe he was Shakespeare's true author. If this theory proves out to be true, it could force us to re-evaluate one of the most famous authors in literary history. In addition, intriguing discoveries have been made on Oak Island that are associated with a person named Samuel. People have begun to speculate that he may have been involved in searching for treasure on the island. Sign up now for more astounding scientific discoveries. Samuel Ball was born in South Carolina into servitude, but he served the British throughout the American Revolution. The story of Samuel Ball is intriguing. Once he made the decision, he ultimately relocated to Nova Scotia and purchased property on Oak Island. The discovery of coins, buttons, and a fragment of a revolver on Lot 24 piqued the public's interest, leading them to speculate that Ball may have been involved in the treasure hunt. The meaning of these artifacts is currently unknown, but they may cast light on Ball's activities while he was on the island. Nevertheless, Oak Island is renowned for its mysteries, and it's possible that there are even more mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Therefore, we must continue our inquiry to comprehend what these artifacts discovered on Ball's land and the other discoveries made on the island represent. The Oak Island granite stone is a peculiar artifact that has baffled explorers for an extended period of time. It was discovered by accident while they were excavating the money pit, and it is covered with strange inscriptions that no one has yet deciphered. Even though many have searched for it, a large number of people continue to believe that these symbols could be the key to finding the fabled treasure and could even provide directions to its location. The authenticity of the granite stone and the significance of its inscriptions are, however, still uncertain. Most of what we believe to know about it is based on speculation and rumors. Despite the absence of irrefutable evidence, the prospect of deciphering the secrets of such an ancient artifact continues to intrigue explorers and historians. You will not believe what has just been discovered on an unfamiliar island. To learn more, click the following video. A significant ship find alters everything. The Curse of Oak Island's 8th season centers on the discovery of a significant ship that could change the course of the inquiry completely. The gang discovers a polished piece of wood that resembles a handrail, which prompts them to surmise that it was once a section of a ship's railing that was attached to the surrounding stone road. This finding adds to the body of data that suggests the wetland once served as an open seaport. However, a large object is impeding their efforts and keeping them from going any further. The gang remains unwavering in their resolve to explore the marsh and learn what lies beneath its surface despite this obstacle. Despite the fact that a significant ship finding has completely changed everything. One of the objects that the crew discovers is a polished piece of wood that resembles a railing. They believe it to be a fragment of a ship's railing, and that it is attached to the surrounding stone path. This would provide as another evidence that the marsh formerly served as an open harbor. They encounter a large item, though, which prohibits them from exploring further and learning more. They won't stop looking until they find what's hidden there, since the group is certain that the swamp holds the knowledge they require. During the 8th season of The Curse of Oak Island, a significant shipwreck is discovered and made public. The group finds a significant relic that has the power to change the direction their search will take, which throws everything into confusion. The find raises questions about the ship's history and purpose, while also giving the members new causes for optimism and excitement. The group is more motivated than ever to carry out their inquiry and uncover new clues that could ultimately unveil the secrets of Oak Island as the mystery grows more baffling. A number of shipping logs were found by the brothers, providing proof that an armada of French soldiers reached Oak Island in 1746. The Duc d'Anville expedition, which was sent from France with the goal of retaking Louisbourg, may have been the source of the artifacts. One of the most thrilling metal detector discoveries on the show happened in the first season. Steve Zazulik discovered a copper coin of the Spanish 8 denomination. The object was probably moved there at some point in the 17th century. During the second season of The Curse of Oak Island, metal detecting helped uncover more old coins. Gary Drayton found 2 Britannia coins from King Charles II's reign while walking along the shore. It was hidden beneath a layer of rocks, one of which had the year 1771 carved into its surface, and pyrite. When the crew inspected one of the coins found that season in the episode titled The 90-Foot Stone, they discovered what appeared to be a cross symbol on one side of the coin. The show had the name The 90-Foot Stone. The greatest degree of hope was given to the searchers by this specific treasure that was discovered on Oak Island in 2022 or before. Was it appropriate to utilize it in a financial institution? An episode from the 5th season of the show focused on one of the most significant archaeological finds discovered throughout the course of the series. Drayton and Rick Lagena found a solid lead cross at the seashore after bringing their metal detectors there. It was discovered after analysis that the artifact most likely originated in the 13th century. Additional investigation establishes a link between Oak Island and the Knights Templar in subsequent episodes. Another of Drayton and Rick Lagena's gems was uncovered with a metal detector in the 6th season's opening episode. To search for hidden wealth, they traveled to a region of the island that had not previously been investigated. They moved a big boulder, dragged it up from under it, and found copper in a well-preserved cartwheel 2 pence. Drayton uses his metal detector to focus on a signal, which Rick Lagena uses as a guide to find and unearth a jeweled brooch. Leaded glass was used to make the gem, and gold was utilized to make the other parts of the jewelry. This archaeological gem was uncovered thanks to the use of ground-penetrating radar. It was initially thought to be a crossbow bolt, but an authority on antiquities has speculated that it might have been a javelin, a weapon used by the Romans more than 2,000 years ago. The team finds a metal object in the 2nd episode of the 9th season that appears to be the object they have been looking for since the beginning of the show. Further inspection reveals that only a small fraction of the object is truly made of gold. Through each season, the show explores the exploits of full-time treasure hunters, and the secrets surrounding Oak Island only grow more complicated. For historical research, their findings made with metal detectors open up previously imagined doors, but you can get the same results with your own gear. Always make careful to get permission before searching for anything on someone else's property or on open space. It is widely acknowledged that the discovery of the island's money pit marked the beginning of the history of treasure hunting on Oak Island. The pit, often known as the money pit, is a human-made hole that is frequently assumed to be the location of the lost treasures. The story goes that in 1795, while on an adventure on the island, a group of boys around the age of 13 discovered a dip in the earth. They began digging since they believed it to be a fake hole, and as they dug, they found multiple layers of wood and other things. However, a mysterious flood stopped them in their tracks, filling the hole with water and blocking any further excavation. As soon as word of the discovery spread, treasure seekers from all over the world flocked to Oak Island to look for the loot. The Onslow Company, a group of financiers, organized the first orderly excavation of the money pit in the year 1803. Despite their best efforts, the gang was unable to reach the bottom of the hole, and as a result, they had to cease digging. Many various groups made attempts to unravel the riddles surrounding the island throughout the course of the ensuing century, but they were all in vain. The most serious of these was the flooding of the pit, which made unsafe and difficult further research in the area. The hole was also equipped with a number of intricate devices that, when activated, would force the pit to overflow with water and prevent access to the treasure. Please subscribe and enable post notifications if you want to learn about more exciting discoveries. Despite these challenges, the excavations continued, and the Oak Island Treasure Company was founded in 1861. This specific team was able to dig down to a depth of 90 feet before the flooding that happened in the pit once more hampered their attempts. The excavations were permanently halted in 1909 as the Oak Island Treasure Company went out of business. Since then, several other parties have made an effort to find the treasure buried on Oak Island, but the riddle of the money pit has remained unsolved to this day. The discovery of the money pit and the initial excavations on the island both had a significant impact on the history of the island and the ongoing search for treasure there. Despite the challenges and barriers that were faced, this is true. The 300 years that have been spent looking for treasure on Oak Island have not lessened interest in the mystery, despite the numerous difficulties and failures that have been encountered. A number of new organizations have stepped up to the plate in recent years with the goal of unlocking the island's mysteries. One of the most significant recent events was the founding in 2010 of the Oak Island Tourism Society, an institution dedicated to the preservation of the island's heritage and the promotion of tourism. The organization has significantly contributed to raising public knowledge of Oak Island and the treasure hunt. The group has also participated in a number of island-wide archaeological digs. Unusual force discovered on an unusual island. To learn more right away, simply click the video below. Are you prepared for the greatest discovery in the annals of Oak Island? During final excavations at Oak Island, researchers have made a dreadful discovery. It will transform everything we believed we knew about the enigmatic past of the island. Prepare to uncover the Oak Island mystery that has captivated treasure hunters for centuries. Let's immediately begin the video. Content system. Oak Island has been the site of numerous intriguing discoveries over the years, including fragments of ancient parchment, chunks of rusty iron, and even a stone with intricate engravings. However, we now have some mind-blowing updates regarding the horrifying discovery made during excavation on Oak Island. Join us as we explore the mysteries of Oak Island and unearth the truth about this extraordinary discovery. As soon as the television program The Curse of Oak Island made a horrifying discovery at the bottom of the money pit, the situation rapidly deteriorated. The Oak Island personnel closely monitored the B4C shaft excavation in the money pit region. As the crew approached a depth of approximately 90 feet, they detected abundant traces of silver and gold. The team's astounding discovery sparked intense speculation that they may have discovered the approximate location of the mysterious money pit or stumbled upon a network of tunnels that could lead to a hidden treasure chamber. Despite having reached the most thrilling phase of the excavation, the team remained resolute and unyielding, refusing to give up until the objective was reached. The team's confidence increased when they discovered a 90-foot deep tunnel, which they interpreted as a sign that they were coming closer to the original money pit. They were unfazed by the arduous voyage they had undertaken thus far, fueled by their unwavering conviction that their dogged pursuit was bringing them closer to discovering the legendary secrets concealed deep within the mysterious money pit. Frightful discovery at Oak Island during final excavation has been an exciting journey for those who appreciate witnessing the discovery of historical artifacts. The team had been anxiously awaiting progress in the excavation of the money pit region in the hopes of discovering the elusive treasure that has fascinated generations. Every time they dug, they awaited the next scoop or grasp with bated breath, hoping it would be the breakthrough they had been seeking. As they dug deeper, the team discovered scattered fragments of wood that formed a crucial historical puzzle. Among the dispersed remains, they discovered a large and impressive iron object that appeared to be from a bygone era, perhaps as far back as the 1700s. This fortunate discovery provided a glimmer of optimism, indicating that they were moving closer to their ultimate objective, the legendary money pit. However, their journey to unveil the mysteries concealed beneath the surface of the earth took an unexpected turn. At the approximate 130-foot depth of the B4C shaft, just as they were gaining momentum, they were confronted with a shocking discovery, a formidable bedrock formation impeding their progress. This geological impediment sent shockwaves throughout the team, halting their progress and plunging them into a domain of uncertainty. The team's efforts uncovered evidence of a concealed treasure despite encountering obstacles. They dug 5 enormous shafts over the course of several months and discovered indications of its existence. As they were on the verge of disclosing a long-held secret, these discoveries inspired renewed optimism. However, pursuing the money pit had been an arduous and challenging endeavor for centuries. The quest was fraught with obstacles that required unwavering resolve and originality. Motivated by the possibility of acquiring a priceless treasure that had eluded countless others, the team descended into the money pit in search of the enigmatic treasure. The crew began a difficult mission with the knowledge that obstacles lay ahead. They actively sought out new technologies and strategies to surmount the obstacles. They pursued the treasure with great determination, expecting that their efforts would pay off. However, their journey was not solely motivated by prosperity. Oak Island's search for the money pit had a deeper significance. The exploration was motivated by a desire to uncover the mysterious mysteries that had captivated people for centuries. With each stage, the team delved deeper into Oak Island's complexities, driven by an insatiable desire to uncover its hidden truths. The team's unwavering dedication to resolving Oak Island's mysteries was demonstrated by their unflinching pursuit. Their unyielding determination and tenacity accentuated the noble pursuit of knowledge and discovery, resulting in an enduring tale that will forever be associated with human curiosity. Oak Island has been an enigma for centuries, attracting the attention of treasure hunters, historians, and conspiracy theorists. With each new discovery made by the devoted exploration crew, the allure of the island has grown. Experts were astounded to discover a paved area in the wetland, a peculiar anomaly. In addition, they discovered a 500-year-old stone road, shedding light on the island's ancient history and heightening the mystery encircling its secrets. A mid-15th century rock drill was discovered in the B4C shaft, which was possibly the most astonishing discovery. This artifact has prompted speculation about the island's hidden history and valuable treasures. As Oak Island continues to disclose its secrets, the world eagerly anticipates additional discoveries and the chance to decipher its ancient mysteries. The Lagena brothers and their devoted team embarked on an extraordinary voyage to uncover Oak Island's long-held secrets. Their efforts and breakthroughs brought them closer to the legendary treasure, increasing their confidence that it was within reach. One discovery in particular stood out among their recent discoveries. As they meticulously scrutinized the rock drill discovered in the B4C shaft, a profound realization occurred. This ostensibly unremarkable artifact had the potential to be crucial evidence, leading them directly to the concealed treasure chamber buried beneath the ground. The crew made a remarkable discovery that sparked intense speculation. Through a network of tunnels, they believed they were near to discovering the elusive money pit, or a hidden treasure chamber. Even though they were in the final phase of excavation, the crew remained determined to reach their goal. When they discovered a 90-foot deep tunnel, they believed it was a sign that they were approaching the original money pit. Unfazed by the difficulty of the voyage thus far, they proceeded with the unshakable conviction that they were getting closer to uncovering the mysteries of the money pit. Armed with newly acquired knowledge and an insatiable desire for answers, the Lagena brothers and their companions prepared to delve even deeper, prepared to confront the mysteries that awaited them. Each step drew them closer to uncovering the centuries-old secrets that had been concealed. Their determination was fueled by their unwavering pursuit of the treasure, which had captivated the minds of innumerable explorers before them. The group developed a novel strategy based on their previous findings. They decided to concentrate their efforts on investigating the mysterious, stone-paved area in the swamp because they believed it would provide important clues as to the location of the treasure. Using advanced ground-penetrating radar technology, they scanned the surface of the swamp, revealing anomalies that may indicate the presence of concealed chambers or tunnels. The ground-penetrating radar surveys uncovered a remarkable discovery: a network of interconnected tunnels beneath the swamp. The crew realized that these tunnels may hold the key to unlocking Oak Island's final secrets. The crew was filled with anticipation as they prepared to investigate these underground passages, knowing that they were on the verge of a significant discovery. With their specialized equipment and protective clothing, the team entered the recently unearthed tunnels with courage. The ambiance inside was damp and unsettling, which amplified their feelings of excitement and danger. As they progressed deeper into the complex labyrinth, they discovered shards of tools, signs of human habitation, and cryptic symbols etched into the tunnel walls. Each step brought them closer to the long-awaited revelation. After years of arduous searching, the team uncovered a secret chamber concealed deep within the tunnels. As they cautiously opened the chamber door, they were dumbfounded by what they saw. They stood there in awe as they encountered the ultimate prize they had tirelessly sought. The treasure that had evaded them for what seemed like an eternity suddenly materialized before their eyes. It was an awe-inspiring sight. a collection of dazzling jewels, each glistening in its own brilliant hue. Alongside them were antiquities that told tales of long-vanished civilizations. The containers were brimming with unfathomable riches, including gold and silver that glistened with unrivaled opulence. After years of effort, the Oak Island curse was ultimately resolved. Their perseverance and diligence paid off as they uncovered secrets that had been concealed for centuries. In that moment of victory, they felt a mixture of elation and relief, knowing that their unyielding pursuit had led to the discovery of a lifetime. Click the subscribe button if the video has piqued your interest thus far. The discovery of the treasure on Oak Island was not only a triumph for the Lagena brothers and their team, but also a demonstration of human tenacity and the enduring appeal of adventure. The treasure would provide invaluable historical insights, inspire new discoveries, and captivate the world with tales of intrigue and mystery. Oak Island's mystery never ceases to astound us. But what precisely? Let's find out. John Stemmer supports the official Quest of Oak Island website, where you can read a fascinating article about this region. Laird, the expert, believes the ring of stones they discovered could be the foundation of a circular structure. Interesting, yes? When investigating the structure of Lot 5 in minute detail, concentric rings of stones are visible from approximately 100 feet away from the shore. An insightful contributor by the name of Barbara Kopak made an insightful point. She hypothesized that this structure was a kiln, possibly a lime kiln. Its design resembles an ancient Roman furnace discovered in Europe. It is important to observe that Barbara's experience as an architectural artist enabled her to make this intriguing connection. Its proximity to the shore enhances its attractiveness. John Stemmer and the Quest of Oak Island Facebook page utilized the incredible Muon drone to capture photographs. When considering the likelihood that it is a kiln, exciting possibilities emerge. Barbara Kopak's intriguing observation connects the connections, suggesting that this structure may have been a pipe-making kiln. The possibility that it was used to produce pipes piqued people's interest. Given the rumors of a flood tunnel system and the existence of a hydraulic mechanism, pipes would have been required for elevating and lowering the vault. Historiographically, the location of a kiln is crucial. Typically, they were situated away from communities to avoid disturbing residents with pollution. Lot 5 meets this requirement perfectly. It is also essential to be close to water and fuel sources. Fortunately, Oak Island provides both abundant wood for fuel and simple access to water for dilution of clay. It must be stressed that this is all conjecture, but it is intriguing to consider the possibility that Oak Island structures are related to ancient furnaces. In the slideshow, you can view a variety of kiln structures, including European and Roman-era examples. Are you not in agreement that the similarities are quite striking? Next, we will consider the shape. The notion that it might be a kiln was predominantly prompted by its appearance. Note the manner in which it expands. This may imply that there is more to learn than we are currently aware of. The debris-covered ring is clearly visible in a photograph. Now, this detritus could serve as part of the foundation, similar to the stone wall on Lot 26. Alternately, filling in with detritus could be the result of a construction project on Oak Island. If they had been digging tunnels, they would have needed to dispose of a great quantity of waste, and this area would have been ideal. When examining another image of a Roman kiln, be mindful of how far back it extends. Please take note of the large number of small fragments arranged in long rows to form concentric rings, which resembles what we observe on Oak Island. If this is a kiln, it may resemble this type, and where they are currently excavating may be the primary chamber. Remember how, in one of the most recent episodes of Curse of Oak Island, they made a hollow sound by striking a boulder at the bottom of the hole. They may still be required to reach the firebox area. Those fragments with the hollow sound could be protecting the fireplace after all. Currently, we are still determining how the temporary superstructure was constructed. It could have been built with rocks or something entirely distinct. However, this is not the only event that occurred at Oak Island. Astonished that the entire world. There is still more. Both the stone wall on Lot 26 and the pine tar furnace on Lot 15 contained fragments of charcoal. That indicates the presence of fire. They also discovered a piece of pottery, which provides additional insight into what the object may be. The images depict numerous kiln structures discovered by the University of York throughout Europe. They date back to the Roman era, proving that this technology is not new. Immediately, focus on the kiln on Lot 5. Observing the proximity to the water is intriguing. Regardless, let's dissect this and have some fun. First, visualize the mysterious setting in which we find ourselves. This location may be optimal for a covert operation. What if we told you a kiln could be hidden there? A kiln indeed. Consider alternative applications for this kiln before imagining a group of potters creating exquisite pottery. Our minds are racing and we are thinking about pipelines. Pipes indeed. This excellent hypothesis proposes Oak Island may contain a system of flood tunnels. What is this then? This is supported by evidence such as the valve and the cavity beneath the trapdoor. In this case, things are becoming increasingly intriguing. Perhaps intelligent infrastructure is used to construct the underground tunnels. They may be developing a hydraulic system to control the flow of water. However implausible it may seem, let's experiment with it anyway. It is prudent to use pipelines instead of open tunnels. The island's rugged terrain was only marginally suitable for tunneling. If water were to flow through certain areas, they might erode or collapse. Why then not utilize pipes to maintain a constant flow without endangering a collapse? At this point, things become even more pleasurable. Let's investigate the origins of pottery, my companion. We are discussing a technique that has existed since Roman times: clay pipes. Before, these pipelines were formed around a wooden structure, but it was difficult to connect them seamlessly. They ingeniously employed the potter's wheel, which originated in ancient Samaria around 3500 BCE. Incredible, right? Nevertheless, there's more. We should talk about glazing. You know, the protective layer that prevents water from permeating clay and causing damage to ceramics. Roman glazing techniques were extraordinarily inventive. They utilized salt, lead, and tin, invented later, to create an impregnable, complex covering. At this point, things begin to become somewhat chaotic. A pottery instructor asserts that adding saline or ocean water to clay causes its surface to bloom. The kiln firing process produces a beautiful salt patina. Can you imagine the ancient Romans using ocean water to produce these beautiful orange peel textured pipes? Mind-blowing. Let's discuss the pottery object discovered by Laird on the island. Laird believes it dates from the first half of the 18th century, but who knows? It could, after all, be a conduit. What is it? Though it does not appear to be a conventional straight pipe. Not every conduit needs to be straight. This component may be included in a conduit system with a radius of 12 to 14 inches. What is this then? Similar to the redware discovered on Oak Island, this object was crafted from clay. It could be a piece of the puzzle. Let us introduce you to the Romans once more. They were skilled at installing pipelines. Instead of using a single large conduit, they created these intricate pipelines comprised of numerous smaller pipes. It enabled them to regulate water flow and pressure adequately. A unique archaeological image of a Roman pipe reveals the sophistication and complexity of their systems. What is the future? Oak Island may have had a comparable system. You are in store for one more astounding realization. Are you still familiar with the Great Quadrilateral? Recently, essentials have begun to appear in unexpected places. Additionally, they were discovered at the Israeli castle of Belvoir. Are you serious? These nails, found throughout Notre Dame, date to the 1160s and were used to secure stones together during construction. Discuss prehistoric engineering techniques. Then, what does this signify for Oak Island? Well, it's all speculation. We are merely investigating the options for fun. But here's a wild idea. What if these materials discovered on Oak Island were used in an architectural marvel? They may have been part of an intricate structure that required precise stone binding. What is the future? Everything fits into the Oak Island arrangement. Let's mention the stone wall they discovered before we conclude. Even though it is not a wall in the traditional sense, it resembles a circle of pebbles in that it is filled with trash. What is this then? Underneath it, charcoal was discovered. There is still a great deal of data to locate and integrate. Subscribing to the channel will provide you with access to more blues from the world of mysteries. As we conclude our investigation of Oak Island's secrets, it is important to note that all hypotheses remain speculative. However, the investigation of potential connections between historic hydraulic systems, Roman engineering, and ancient furnaces adds an exciting dimension of intrigue. researchers discovered something incredible in the Oak Island Money Pit. Oak Island is a sequestered location off the south coast of Nova Scotia, and for generations, people have been fascinated by the island. Finally, researchers discovered something unbelievable in the Oak Island Money Pit. A large number of academics, scientists, and explorers are intrigued by the possibility of uncovering the mysteries buried beneath the island's surface. It may seem like an exciting adventure on a real-life treasure island, but bear in mind that many individuals have risked their entire fortunes in an attempt to make a fortune on this island. Some unfortunate individuals have even lost their lives in the process, only to have nothing to show for it in the end. The entrance of the Lagena brothers, who have joined the long list of treasure hunters attempting to solve the island's mysteries, has brought about a recent change in the status quo. The Lagena brothers are confident that they possess the skills necessary to locate the fabled treasure said to be buried on Oak Island, and ultimately, these researchers discovered something in the Oak Island Money Pit that you won't believe. Join us as we observe them as they investigate this 200-year-old enigma, and together we will determine if there is, in fact, hidden wealth on the island. Throughout the course of their expedition, they stumble upon some astounding discoveries that will astound you. The Lagena brothers have devoted a substantial portion of their careers to locating buried wealth. It is understandable why anyone would be captivated by the prospect of unearthing centuries-old treasure buried by someone in the past. Unfortunately, similar to a large number of other visitors to the island, the brothers initially encountered difficulties and failed in their endeavors. Rick and Marty were fortunate in that their treasure hunting efforts did not go unnoticed. The A&E network became aware of the brothers' work, and recognizing the potential for a compelling series about treasure hunters investigating Oak Island, decided to collaborate with them on a series titled The Curse of Oak Island. It's quite eerie, wouldn't you say? Thanks to their cooperation with the television network, the brothers were able to recover the funds that they had previously spent on their travels to the island. Their research activities attained an entirely new level after receiving financial support from the network and other investors. It is essential to note, however, that despite the influx of wealth, the Lagena brothers and their new investors did not make any noteworthy discoveries during the first 2 seasons of their program. This is something that must be recognized. Despite this, they demonstrated an admirable amount of patience, which is commendable because, as the saying goes, patience is a virtue. After 3 seasons of searching, the explorers on Oak Island finally made significant discoveries that aroused their curiosity. The discovery of a ceremonial Roman sword suggested that Roman soldiers may have visited Oak Island before Christopher Columbus. This major accomplishment opened a floodgate of opportunities for the crew, and as they diligently combed the island for riches, they discovered a wide variety of artifacts and antiquities. A handcrafted replica of a map of France was one of their discoveries, which aroused their interest in the artifact. In order to conduct the analysis, they enlisted the assistance of historian and maritime expert Zena Halpern. After determining that the map was created in 1647, Halpern theorized that the resources it indicated may have originated in Africa. During the course of their investigation, the Lagena brothers and the rest of their crew discovered fragments of a book, which further investigation revealed to be a bookbinder. After making this discovery, the brothers began to contemplate the possibility that they had not yet discovered additional buried manuscripts on the island. A fragment of parchment made from animal skin was yet another fascinating artifact discovered. William Chappell and Frederick Blair, explorers of Oak Island, have been hypothesized to be involved. In the 15th century, when the document was created, only the wealthy could afford to dispatch mail. In addition, the explorers discovered a number of gold coins near a pit that became known as the Money Pit. This location sparked the island's obsession with treasure that has persisted for the past 2 centuries. Unfortunately, a recurring issue with flooding halted Chappell and Blair's treasure hunting expedition when the Money Pit became submerged in water, preventing them from making any further progress. After Chappell and Blair led the way, many others attempted to find treasure on Oak Island, but unfortunately none were successful. Chappell and Blair were only the beginning of a long line of people who followed in their footsteps. The issue of where the loot was hidden evaded even President Roosevelt, despite his best efforts. Despite numerous abortive attempts, the search for treasure on the island continued indefinitely. This was due to the efforts of individuals like Irwin Hamilton, who unearthed artifacts that were not typical of the area. It was evident that Rick and Marty had a challenging mission ahead of them. They were fortunate to have a competent and capable team supporting them. Craig Tester, who had been Marty's college flatmate, joined their ranks, as did Dan Blankenship and his son David, all of whom were experts in their respective disciplines. Dan Blankenship, for instance, was a renowned hunter who left his contracting business to investigate the enigmatic island. Since the Lagena siblings had been treasure hunting since they were young children, it was not surprising that they were both exceptionally skilled at the activity. As soon as Ricky, then 10 years old, stumbled upon a boulder and became intrigued by the concept of unearthing buried treasure, their passion for treasure seeking was ignited. Even though their first attempt to search the boulder for treasure failed, it set them on a path that would lead them to spend the remainder of their lives engaging in similar adventures. As time passed, they gained a deeper understanding of the tales and legends surrounding Oak Island, which strengthened their resolve to investigate the island's mysteries further. The brothers Lagena and Dan Blankenship each purchased 1/2 of the stock in Oak Island Tours in order to realize their dream of discovering the buried treasure and seizing it for themselves. This gang appears to be destined to follow in the footsteps of their former commander, Daniel McGinnis. McGinnis discovered a depression in the ground on Oak Island in 1796, prompting him to initiate his own search for wealth on the island. They and their associates spent approximately 10 years excavating the pit, but none of their efforts bore fruit. In the end, the Onslow Company was the one to assume responsibility for excavating the money grave, but they too were disappointed. Discovering only a stone instrument containing writing, it took over a century to translate the inscription on the stone tablet, which is believed to read, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried. Others relied on conjecture, such as Marie Antoinette hiding her wealth prior to her execution, or William Shakespeare hiding his fortune and unpublished works, while others used this as evidence to infer that there could be treasure on the island. Despite this, these hypotheses have not been confirmed because no treasure has been found. Since the beginning of excavation on the island, individuals such as the Lagena brothers have been responsible for the discovery of hundreds, if not thousands, of artifacts. The Lagenas made a remarkable discovery when they unearthed the bones of 2 distinct individuals. The fact that one set of bones belonged to a person of Middle Eastern ancestry and the other to a person of European ancestry added another layer of enigma to the island's history. The remains were discovered on opposing sides of the island. The discovery of bones belonging to individuals of Middle Eastern and European descent led to the conclusion that these men may have been members of the Knights Templar. Gary Drayton, an additional member of the Lagena team known as the Metal-Finding Ninja, discovered a medieval-era cross and a stone with Greek letters. After analyzing the relics, Zena Halpern argued that they may be associated with Tannin, the Phoenician deity of fertility. These discoveries appeared to support the hypothesis that the Knights Templar had visited the island. However, after analyzing the artifacts, Zena Halpern hypothesized that they were associated with Tannin. When the cross's lead covering was removed, it was discovered to be made of gold, leading some to presume it was used to smuggle gold. In addition, some individuals believed the cross may have been used to transport gold. The Lagena brothers believed that their discoveries were more important than those of their contemporaries. Are you currently appreciating this video? Be careful to subscribe and enable post notifications to be notified immediately when a new post is published. In spite of this, they remained enthusiastic about continuing their search for treasure on Oak Island, which was fueled in part by their desire to uncover the island's mysteries as they proceeded. They made additional discoveries, including the discovery of various types of stone tablets in the money pit. Initially, the tablets were considered to be nothing more than ordinary artifacts, but after further investigation, it became apparent that they could represent evidence of Viking occupation of the island. Oak Island exploration has been a phenomenal experience for the Lagena brothers. Through their partnership with the television network, they were able to achieve financial success despite not discovering any genuine treasures. As a consequence of the show, they now own 50% of the island and have become billionaires. They remain committed to their work in the hopes that one day, with a little luck, they will find the treasure chests buried somewhere beneath Oak Island. Researchers on the team have just discovered something no one was meant to see. Click the following video to find out.